It's raining on Wooster Street in Soho in New York on this November day. It's raining in the city as I'm walking in the streets. A tree, a paradise tree. It's known as the paradise tree. I planted it with George in 1967, that was. It was just a little tiny nothing. We went at night to an empty lot which some people were cleaning and throwing trees away, young little trees. They were throwing them away. So we took one, actually two, with George. We brought them and we planted them here on Wooster Street, in front of 80 Wooster Street. That's where George met Jonas. Those were the Fluxus headquarters, the first cooperative in Soho. This is where Soho started. So the city, next day the cops came and they said we have to uproot the trees because on this street there should be no trees. It's not allowed, industrial section. So we said, George said to the cops, I am not going to do it. It's you, the cops, the city should uproot these trees. They disappeared, they never came back. And here are the trees, tall by now. Still raining in Soho. Walking, always walking through the city. That is the life of a displaced person, an exile, ADP, in a strange place. I have been walking. I remember when I was walking these same streets when I just came to New York. I didn't recognize a single street, a single house. I didn't recognize anything. I heard only my own steps. I recognize a lot now. Every street talks back with memories. Memories. I think I should tell you a story. I will tell you a story about a man who wanted to know what's at the end of the road. He used to work like everybody else and then stop and gaze into the horizon. And when people used to ask him, "Why are you gazing at the horizon?" he said, "I want to know what's at the end of that road." So one day he went and he traveled, and after many, many years he reached the end of the road. And there was nothing at the end of the road but a little pile of rabbit shit. Not even the rabbit was there any longer. So back he went. And when people used to ask him, "So, what is at the end of the road?" he used to tell them, "No, there is nothing, absolutely nothing, only a pile of rabbit shit." That's what he told them, but nobody believed him. Ah, Christmas trees. I seem to attach myself very easily to any place. Is that really betraying your own roots, your own home? No. You see, there are all kinds of immigrants here. Those who came here on their own to look for better life, they don't think much about their home. But those who came, those who were forced out of their home, they never forget their home. They will never be able to let their roots anywhere. So I attach myself easily to any place because no place is really mine. My only place is Lithuania. My real roots are there. Everything else is just passing through the Polita. I buy my bread now here. The best bread in Soho. Yes, everything else is just like walking through a displaced person as a voyeur, as a walker. Augie's coffee, espresso. Maybe I should have an espresso. Oh, maybe I will stick this time. Yeah. Now, There was a man once who did absolutely nothing. He did nothing. People used to laugh at him angrily. What kind of man are you? You do nothing. What have you done in your life? They used to ask. Having enough of such talk, one day this man made up his mind. He went and did something and came back to the people. But by the time he came back, he had completely forgotten what he had done. The people asked him, "What did you do? What did you accomplish today?" But the man couldn't remember, although he knew he had done something. So he spat and said, "Oh, the hell with it." The roots home.
Okay, yeah, 2 minutes ago now.
Nobody really knows what the roots are, what home is. Drop me in a desert. Come back in a few days and I will have already roots deep into the sand and like a cactus. Just before Christmas. Stores, coffee houses. There was nothing here in '67 when George started the first cooperative. When George started, so we used to run for coffee 10 blocks to find a coffee place. was a man who knew everything. He was that wise. Then again, he didn't know nothing like everybody else. Until one day, he knew everything else, everything again. After that, his mind fell into the darkness of the beginning. Whether it was really the beginning, the parable doesn't say. And he stumbled and grappled in the not knowing. And so he was able to see and to know everything again in a different way, perhaps, that it was as good and as true as any time before. Yes, it's raining in Soho. I received a letter from my brother, Petras, a few days ago. He said it's snowing, a lot of snow in Lithuania right now. I wonder what's happening in Lithuania. No, Gorbachev is not going to get it. Lithuania is not for grabs. Oh, my camera is getting wet. It's raining, but it doesn't matter. And I have lots of time. I'm not in a hurry really. And it would be strange to rush through the streets of New York after coming 7,000 miles from your home, from Lithuania. It doesn't matter, 100 blocks one way or the other. Doesn't matter at all once you are 7,000 miles away from your home. So I'm not in a hurry, really. I have a lot of time, and it's raining. It's good to walk when it's raining. All those puddles puddles. I don't mind the puddles. Just walking, not really looking for anything, just permitting the camera to be its own eye. Oh yes, keep looking in places where there is nothing. Who said it? Yes, that's a line from Buddha's unpublished writings. Keep searching for something in places where there is nothing. Broadway, yes. 100 blocks one way or the other, it doesn't matter. I'm on Broadway and Lithuania is 7,000 miles away. So it makes no difference. As I'm waiting for the light, yes, I will tell you a story. There was a man who kept searching for a melody he thought he had heard once somewhere long, long ago. Long, long ago. Then he found it. It was only one note, one tone, one note he had heard once. It was his own brief cry in a dream. is this tale I was told once. I think it was in a dream that when Adam and Eve were leaving paradise and Adam was sleeping in the shadow of a dark rock, Eve looked back and she saw the globe of paradise exploding into a myriad of tiny bits and fragments. And it rained. It rained. It rained into her soul and into that of the sleeping Adam. The little bits of paradise. The rest was gone. The paradise was gone, except for the fragments left in their souls. The paradise was gone. I don't think Eve ever told this to Adam. Downtown, walking through the downtown of New York. Everybody is in a hurry. Cars, trucks, going somewhere, carrying things always. Since I have nothing else to do, I will tell you another story. I will tell you a story about a man who was asked by God to do some little thing. It was just a little thing, and I don't know what it was. Do this, he was told, and this earth will again turn into paradise. There won't be any kings, nobody will have to work, everybody will be free and happy, etc. Now, this man kept thinking, to do it or not to do it. One day he thinks that he should do it, next day he isn't sure. he thinks that maybe he shouldn't do it. Why do we need a paradise? Let the people work. A big deal. It's good for your system. Next day again he thinks maybe after all it would be nice not to work, not to do anything. And so it went. He couldn't make up his mind. Day after day he thought about it, and so he died one day. And it's a pity. He could have brought paradise back to earth. Yes, step after step, I'm walking the streets of this city that has become my new home. You build in piece by piece, fragment by fragment, you build your new home. I walked these streets when I did not, in 1950, and I did not know a soul. I did not know window, no street, no door, no building responded to me, spoke to me. It was just emptiness. But now I'm walking these streets and I recognize them. I have been here before. I have been here many times before. There is something in these miserable streets that speaks back to me. We are friends. This, even in its most miserable, it speaks to me. And it's part of me, and I am part of it. We grew together, the city and me. We are inseparable. These little stores, this pavement, dirt, puddles, cans, paper scraps, garbage. It's all part of me too. Allen Street. I have seen Allen Street in the spring, in winter, in fall. I have seen the wind blow leaves along this street. Church Street. I lived here. I lived here for 2 years. There, behind that bridge, it's Brooklyn. It's another world, the real world. Manhattan, that's business, culture, art, civilization. Brooklyn, Williamsburg, Brooklyn, That's like nothing, like the primordial, primeval mud from which anything could come, monsters or angels, anything. It's a breeding ground for anything. I spent 2 years of my life there, across that bridge, Brooklyn. Nobody knows Brooklyn. Brooklyn is like the gate through which you have to pass through to enter what? To enter Manhattan, Wall Street, Castelli Gallery, Museum of Modern Art, what? So that there is a point somewhere where you don't know anymore where your home really is. I am at that point. I think my home, my real home is cinema now. Culture, I wouldn't say culture. I don't know what culture is anymore. But I think I know something about cinema. It was a choice of desperation.
Que venían así, bueno, pues, como yo iba, ¿eh?
The rain, the rain, the rain. The rain, the rain. I have to clean my lens, but that's okay. It's Not exactly the garden of paradise, but you never know into what this garden could be transformed next. There's another tree of paradise. Grass, trees, the grass clinging to any place, to a stone, to a rock, to a block of cement, trying to live in a place where life seems to be totally impossible. That is the strength of life. The century in which we live has tested us. You know, you know that people can cling to the shores of life without legs, without arms. Just to be alive, just to continue. Yes, the mystery of life. Yes, I'm walking towards Williamsburg, Brooklyn, where my New York life began. Returning back to Brooklyn, something I don't wish to anyone. Dante maybe would have made something out of Brooklyn, but Brooklyn hasn't produced Dante, not yet. All that humanity is stacked in those cubicles. Yes, Brooklyn. No, never again. Never again, Brooklyn.